Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're going deep on the connection between money and well-being.
We'll be looking at two fields.
Two fields that are getting more and more attention these days.
Financial therapy.
And financial social work.
Whether you're thinking about a career change or just curious about the psychology of money.
Or even if you're just trying to improve your own finances.
Get ready for some eye-opening insights.
It's amazing how much financial stress affects us.
Yeah, it's not just about the numbers.
Right.
It affects our jobs.
Our relationships.
Even our mental and physical health.
It's a huge ripple effect.
It really is.
You know, it's funny, you don't always see it coming.
Right.
I was reading about this financial advisor, Ashley.
Yeah, okay.
She works with, high net worth clients.
Mm-hmm.
And she started to notice something interesting.
What's that?
After talking about finances, some of her clients would have this, huge emotional release, almost like a therapy session.
Wow.
And then others would, clam up, like they had revealed too much.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Ashley's experience really shows why we need a more holistic approach to financial well-being.
I was just going to say, it's not enough to just crunch the number.
Right. We need to look at the emotions and the psychology.
It's the whole picture.
Exactly. And that's what led her to financial therapy and the Financial Therapy Association.
Okay, so the Financial Therapy Association.
Yes.
Their mission is to, I'm going to read it here.
Go for it.
Integrate the cognitive, emotional, behavioral, relational, and financial aspects of well-being.
It's a mouthful.
Yeah.
But it really highlights how connected our inner world and our financial decisions are.
I think it's easy to underestimate that, right?
It really is. Think about it. Our beliefs about money, how we react to financial situations emotionally,
Yeah.
our relationships with money and, the people who influence our finances,
It's
all of that plays a part in our overall financial well-being.
So I'm curious, who's drawn to the FTA? Is it mostly financial professionals?
Actually, it's a really diverse group.
Right.
You'll find financial professionals, mental health experts, academics, researchers, and they're all connected by this belief in a holistic approach.
It's really interesting how this field is bridging the gap between psychology and finance.
It really is.
I think for those who want to go beyond just learning the basics, there's the Certified Financial Therapist designation.
Yes, the CFT.
Offered by the FTA. What exactly does a CFT do?
They go beyond simple budgeting advice, that's for sure.
I imagine so.
CFTs help clients uncover those hidden patterns in their financial behavior. They explore beliefs about money.
Beliefs about money.
That we often inherit from our families or our culture.
Okay, interesting.
And these beliefs are usually unconscious.
Unconscious, wow.
It's about giving clients the power to make positive changes by understanding the why behind their choices.
I was looking into the CFT program, and I really appreciate that it's designed to be accessible.
Yes, it is.
For people from different backgrounds. It's self-paced, it's a video series, focuses on both therapeutic and financial knowledge.
It's really great.
It's really cool. It's not surprising that we're seeing more universities creating dedicated financial therapy programs.
It's definitely gaining traction.
This field is really taking off.
Now let's move on to another fascinating area. Financial social work. This journey starts with a woman named Rita. She was a pioneer.
Okay.
Who coined the term feminomics.
Feminomics. That's a new one for me.
It might sound like it's just about women and money.
I was just going to ask that.
But Rita gave it a deeper meaning.
Oh.
The gender of money.
Wow, the gender of money.
It's about exploring how societal expectations around gender can impact our wallets. Feminomics has 7 key areas.
Okay.
And its insights are useful to a lot of different people, not just women.
So financial social work focuses on creating safe spaces for clients?
Yes.
Spaces for them to be open about their financial secrets, anxieties, questions.
Yes, things they might not feel comfortable discussing anywhere else.
It's true. Money's often a taboo topic.
It is. It is.
Shrouded in shame and secrecy.
And financial social workers provide a non-judgmental space.
Right.
Where those difficult conversations can happen.
So what does a financial social worker actually do?
It's definitely more than just helping someone create a budget.
I was just going to say.
They wear a lot of hats. They act as agents of financial change, for example.
Okay.
Addressing the link between money and mental health.
Yeah, that's so important.
They advocate for marginalized groups.
Interesting.
And they help clients cope with financial stress, trauma, even anxiety.
That's powerful stuff.
It is.
So there's a certification for financial social work as well, right?
There is. It takes a very practical behavioral approach with 5 interactive workbooks And a sixth one is coming soon.
Oh, wow.
Focused on creating lasting change. It's accessible, too, with a payment plan and CEUs from the National Association of Social Workers.
That's great.
Oh, and they recently added a video program, which is great for people who prefer learning that way.
We have financial therapy
Yes.
and financial social work.
Both addressing this important intersection of money and well-being.
Now, you might be asking, which path is right for me?
It's a good question.
So let's look at some common questions that people have when they're exploring these professions.
Sounds good.
A big one is, should someone pursue both certifications?
It comes up a lot.
Yeah, I can see why, given the overlap, but
It really depends on your goals, your time commitment, and even your budget. There's
see.
no one-size-fits-all answer.
That makes sense. And no matter which path you choose, it seems like self-reflection is crucial
It's so
for both professionals.
Absolutely.
You know, to really guide others effectively, you have to do your own money work.
You have to walk the walk.
Yeah, it seems like an ethical responsibility.
For sure. And both organizations offer resources like practice management groups and networking opportunities
Oh, nice.
to support people who are entering the field.
That's great. Now let's get practical and dive into some real-world scenarios.
Sounds good to me.
Say you're working with a couple on the brink of divorce due to financial stress.
It happens a lot.
It's a situation a lot of people can relate to, unfortunately. Money is a big cause of conflict in relationships.
It's a huge one.
How do you navigate that?
It's tough.
Especially when they might have different money traumas.
And different histories with money.
Yeah, exactly.
The key is to give them a safe space to talk about their feelings and needs.
Okay.
And help them develop communication skills so they can address the financial problems.
I see.
Sometimes, even if a couple decides to split up, the tools and insights from financial therapy or social work can help them navigate the process in a way that's healthy and constructive.
So it's more than just creating a budget.
Much more. It's about understanding the baggage each person brings, helping them find common ground.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What about working with college students struggling with debt
Yeah.
or who come from families with, financial dysfunction?
That's a tough one.
How do you approach that?
Especially with social media and this pressure for instant gratification impacting their money habits, it feels like young people are facing a whole new set of challenges.
They really are. The advertising, the pressure to keep up appearances,
It's overwhelming.
it can be really overwhelming. It's important to help them develop some critical thinking skills around their spending habits.
And they need to understand the consequences of their financial decisions over time.
Right. Long-term thinking.
And we need to make saving and investing more appealing and relevant to them.
It sounds like we need a multifaceted approach.
Definitely.
And we need to end financial illiteracy
Through education.
and policy changes.
Yes.
It sounds like both the FTA and the Center for Financial Social Work are working towards that.
They are. And they both have some valuable resources.
Like what?
Like workbooks and online platforms to educate both professionals and the public.
That's fantastic.
It's about giving people the knowledge and tools they need to make good financial decisions.
So for our listeners who are eager to learn more, maybe even join these growing fields.
There are concrete tools and paths for them.
This has been a really interesting deep dive
I agree.
into the world of financial therapy and financial social work.
Fascinating.
But before we wrap up this section, let's shift our focus to you.
To the listener,
What stood out to you the most from this conversation? What resonated with your own experiences?
or maybe what sparked your curiosity.
What made you think?
Take a moment to reflect on your own relationship with money. Are there any patterns or beliefs that are holding you back? What small step can you take today to improve your well-being?
Financially.
Now, financially, yes.
And if you're interested in learning more about these professions, we encourage you to check out the websites
For the Financial Therapy Association,
and the Center for Financial Social Work.
remember, knowledge is power. The more you know about yourself and your relationship with money, the more power you have to make choices that are good for you.
Now, before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a final question.
Oh,
What would a world look like where everyone had the tools and support they need to achieve real financial well-being?
that's a great question. And it's one that I think both financial therapy and financial social work are trying to answer. It's a vision of a world where financial security is not a privilege.
But a right.
Yes, right. A world where everyone has the chance to thrive, no matter their background or circumstances.
An inspiring vision.
It is.
and one that we can all work towards
Individually.
together.
Absolutely. And even small actions can help create that positive change.
It's inspiring to think about the impact these fields can have,
Yeah.
not just on individuals,
Yeah.
but on society as a whole.
It's about changing our perspective.
How so?
From scarcity to abundance, from fear to empowerment.
I like that. We've talked about the importance of education.
Yes.
Ongoing education for professionals.
Right.
In these fields. But what about education for everyone?
For the general public,
Yep.
how do we give everyone the financial literacy they need?
To thrive, exactly.
That's where education and advocacy come in.
I see.
Both the FTA and the Center for Financial Social Work are trying to spread awareness.
About these important topics.
Exactly. They offer workshops, online resources. They even advocate for policy changes
It's interesting.
to include financial literacy in school curriculums.
So it's about reaching people where they are
Yes,
and providing information
accessible information.
that's relevant to their lives.
Exactly. It's not just about teaching them to balance a budget.
Right.
It's about helping them understand the psychology of money, recognizing their own patterns,
Oh, okay.
and making choices that are aligned with their values.
I think it's really interesting
Yeah.
how these fields are connecting personal finance and mental health.
You know,
They're recognizing that our financial well-being is connected to our emotional and psychological well-being.
it's a big shift.
Yeah, it really is.
And it's been a long time coming.
For too long, we've separated money from the rest of our lives.
Right. Like it's just a numbers game.
Treated it like it's purely rational.
But the truth is, our financial decisions are affected by our emotions, by our past experiences,
Okay.
our beliefs.
So it's about bringing the human element back.
Exactly. And that's what makes these fields so interesting.
I think I agree.
They're not just about the numbers.
Right.
They're about people
Relationships.
and creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to be financially well.
To achieve that well-being, yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Into financial therapy and financial social work.
what's the main takeaway?
What do you want our listeners to remember?
What's the one thing?
Financial well-being is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. It's about progress.
Not perfection.
Yes. And it's better to take that journey with knowledge, self-awareness, and a good support system.
Well said. And remember, there are resources to help you.
There are
Don't be afraid to ask for help.
to ask questions.
Connect with others on a similar path.
It can make a big difference.
Absolutely. As always, keep exploring.
Keep asking questions.
Keep diving deeper. That's the key.
You know, it's inspiring to think about the potential impact
Yeah.
these fields can have,
Ah.
not just on individuals, but like
Oh.
on society as a whole.
I agree. It's about shifting our perspective
Oh,
from scarcity to abundance,
okay.
from fear
Mm-hmm.
to empowerment.
We've talked about education, right?
Yes.
Ongoing education for professionals in these fields.
Right.
But what about for everybody else?
For the general public,
Yeah, how do we give everyone the financial literacy
that's a great question.
they need to thrive?
That's where education and advocacy come in.
Okay.
The FTA and the Center for Financial Social Work are really committed to spreading awareness about these topics.
Yes, exactly. They offer workshops, online resources. They even advocate for policy changes
Really?
to integrate financial literacy into school curriculums.
It's about meeting people where they are
Yes.
and providing accessible information.
Relevant to their lives.
I see. It's not just about teaching people how to balance a budget.
No, it's more than that. It's about empowering them
Okay.
to understand the psychology of money,
Oh, wow.
recognize their own patterns,
Okay.
make choices that align with their values.
It's fascinating how these fields are bridging the gap between personal finance and mental health.
They're recognizing the connection
Yeah.
between financial well-being and emotional and psychological well-being.
It's a real paradigm shift.
It
It's
is.
been needed for a long time.
For too long.
Yeah.
We've separated money from everything else, treated it as like purely rational.
But it's not.
But the reality is our financial decisions are deeply influenced by our emotions, our experiences, and our beliefs.
Bringing that human element back.
Exactly. And that's what makes these fields so exciting.
I agree.
They're not just about numbers.
Right.
They're about people, about relationships, creating a world where everyone has the chance to achieve.
True financial well-being.
Yes.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
Into financial therapy and financial social work.
what's the one thing you want our listeners to remember?
Financial well-being is a journey.
Not a destination.
Exactly. It's about progress.
Not perfection.
Yes, and it's a journey best taken with knowledge,
Okay.
self-awareness, and support.
Beautifully said. And remember, there are resources available
There are.
to help you on that journey.
Absolutely.
Don't be afraid to ask for guidance.
Or ask questions.
Connect with others who are on a similar path.
It can really help.
It really can. As always, keep exploring.
Keep asking questions.
Keep diving deeper.
That's what it's all about.
Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.
We'll see you next time.
Until then, take care.